You guys are aware, Darren Till is going to be fighting Jack Hermansson. Now, just to remind you, I always think of Jack as a British fighter. Do you guys as well? Do you always think of him as a British fighter? Because Jack was born in Sweden. Jack started out as a Greco-Roman wrestler in Sweden. And I only bring that to you because Jack has been training with Chimaev for a very meaningful period of time. Those guys are buddies. They even went out and did that freestyle wrestling thing. But these guys have worked together for a period of time. Now, we all know about the bromance with the Smash Brothers. I'm talking about Till and Chimaev. Well, Hermansson is back in Sweden. He's back in the gym, working out with the team. But, of course, that involves Chimaev, and Till isn't there. Where is Till? And I'm just curious. I mean, do these guys have to work it out? Is this a situation where Till goes, oh, crap, I'm no longer welcome here? I was welcome. I was one of the boys, but he outdates me. He's got seniority on me. I have to go. I'm just asking the question. I'm just purely curious. But I do think that that's interesting. I think it adds a very interesting element. I got stuck in a spot like this one time, guys. World title fight, Randy Couture versus Josh Barnett. Maurice Smith was the coach of both. But he'd been with Josh longer. So when Randy started working with Maurice and then Randy gets signed with Josh, Randy just kept going and working with Maurice. Well, all of a sudden, Josh is in the room. All of a sudden, it's Friday night. You worked hard all week. The team's going out to dinner. Randy and Josh are at the same table, sitting apart from each other. And I just share with you, like, some guys can deal with this. That didn't bother Randy at all. I've never asked Josh about it. I know they both went and dealt with it. But for some other guys, that really gets in their head. Where is Till at on that? And what does Chimaev do? I mean, Chimaev's just a guy at the gym. He's working out with whoever comes. He's doing everything right. Well, what happens if he gets pulled aside? It's a tough spot. It really is. And where is Till? I really do need that paid off as well. Is he back home in England? He's with the original guys. The guys that are probably going to corner him. He took all the things that he learned. He's back there refining stuff. I love that. I've got no problem with it. I'm just asking the question, was Till forced to leave? And I felt like this should have been a headline. I barely came across it. I came across a photograph and saw that it was Hermansson and Chimaev in the room. Then I went to check the date that the photograph was taken. I feel like this is a big story. And I will tell you, Jack's got his hands full there, regardless of what the line is telling you. DraftKings right now has Jack as a favorite. I'm telling you, and he might be. That's a hard fight. And don't forget, guys, that's not a main event. Because Darren Till thought that he had positional problems. I don't agree. I know the exact position. I know if we go back, watch a couple of Till fights, a couple of problems he's in, it looks like the same spot. I don't think it was a positional problem as much as it was a round issue. When you find yourself in very precarious positions, and you're 6 and 7 minutes in, and you know there's another 18 minutes to go, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not be tough. It's not be experienced. Your mind does stuff. If you lose your focus for half a second, you're done. And Till, on the other hand, he's had very dirty and very grindy fights. Go see the one with Kelvin Gastelum. One of Till's best performances, and up until that date, his absolute best performance. Flew in the day before, completely jet lagged, goes to a weight class that he'd never been in, and takes on the #1 contender. Oh, by the way, he beat him. But that wasn't a style issue, and that wasn't avoiding some of these precarious positions. It was 15 minutes, here's what I got to do, and I can keep my focus. And I get it. I'm perfect to speak to this, because I had the same problem. I know exactly what I'm looking at there. I know when Till's mind checks out, and then he regrets it. No, wait, I got more in me. I'm going to keep going. That half a second is an eternity in a cage fight. I had a coach. You guys might have heard this example, but I was told this when I was 9 years old by Roy Pittman. I've never forgotten it. And he would talk about losing your focus. Wrestling match, but just losing your focus in general. And he would talk about that half a second, that split second. And he would say, if you don't think that's a long time, go home, turn your stove on, let it get red hot, then put your palm on it for half a second and come back and tell me that wasn't a long time. And that's just an example that will stay with you. If that's an old adage, fine, I apologize. But if it's not, you will remember that. And I just think Hermansson, this really is a jam for him. It's a very interesting spot, and I think I would be giving you a different prediction if it was 5 rounds. It matters. Till came out and did an interview. Till's very open with you guys. Till did an interview, and he said, I don't want a main event. I don't want main event pressure. Now, the only reason that bothered me is because I'm not certain Till has identified what I just told you. And sometimes the athlete is in the worst position to look inward and identify, but it wasn't the main event spot. It's not the interviews. It's not what asked of him. It's not what the press tours is. I know that stuff doesn't bother Till. I know it doesn't bother Till because I watched him fly from England to New York. I watched him be completely jet lagged as he sat up on the stage at Madison Square Garden on media day and did every interview there was. That stuff doesn't bother him. He's wrong. He's wrong about himself. 15 minutes is a lot better scenario to keep your focus when you're a guy who can lose his focus as opposed to 25 minutes. It's an interesting match. I don't want you guys to lose it, but I also want to know what this training is like. I end up in a spot. Very good relationship with Jake Shields. I'm going to fight Bisping. Jake and Bisping had trained together, but I'm better friends with Jake. I've known Jake longer. I called Jake up. He didn't take that call. He didn't take that call for 2 weeks. When the fight was over, he texted me back. Hey, I see I missed a couple calls from you. I got a new phone. It's acting weird. Whatever he said. And of course, he gained my respect. That was the right way to do it. I did everything right. I'm trying to get inside scoop. I'm trying to do everything right. But when you're a common training partner, there's a way that you have to behave. It's the way that Jake behaved. And I don't know the spot that Chimaev is in. It's a really hard one. Randy Couture, when we had Team Quest days, Matt Lindland, Dan Henderson, same weight class. Now, we weren't like other gyms. They would have fought. For sure. No problem. They did end up having to wrestle. And if Matt was to go to Randy and talk about what should I do in this match, Randy would have answered the question. And if Dan would have walked right up to him and said, what should I do? Randy would have answered the question. That's how we did it at Team Quest. Treated everybody the same, even if it was Civil War. So I would like to know, first off, not only where is Till now and where is Till going to finish up camp and why? Was he forced out? I'd also like to know where Jack's been. Because I don't think Jack's been in that gym the whole time. I don't think that Chimaev and Jack have been training partners and all of a sudden go off and agree to fight. I don't think that was the situation. So where have those guys been? Whose choice was it? Does this affect the Smash Brothers? It's definitely a new wrinkle into the fight, and I think we should get to the bottom of it.